You know what they say, never judge a book by its cover. And if these normal-looking houses are anything to go by, then you shouldn't judge a house by its cover either. Sometimes something that is seemingly ordinary-looking can have a very disturbing past. I suppose, worryingly, that can be said for us humans too. As these creepy abodes prove, you never really know what's lurking behind the surface of something that looks perfectly innocent. Welcome back to another interesting video of Top Mainstream, and here are the 9 ordinary-looking houses that have very dark backstories. Let's start the video. 9. James Buffalo Bill Gumb's home. Now, you may recognize this quaint little home from the movie Silence of the Lambs. Yep, it's the film location where Buffalo Bill lotioned and skinned his lady victims, as well as breeding hundreds of massive moths. Lovely, not the stuff of nightmares at all. And I'm just talking about the moths. It's located in a quiet village just outside Pittsburgh, and it has all the essentials of the American dream house. A pool with a pool house, a wraparound porch, but realtors still had a hard time offloading the property. I wonder why. However, it finally sold in 2016. 8. The Ramsey House. All the bells and whistles in the world couldn't camouflage this seemingly charming home's ugly past. JonBenet Ramsey, the pint-sized beauty queen, was brutally murdered here over the Christmas period of 1996. The 6-year-old's body was then found the following afternoon with a ransom note. Ramsey's murder still remains a mystery, as does ownership of the house, as it hops on and off of the market regularly, and I'm not surprised with that grisly past still hanging over it. 7. Nicole Brown Simpson's Brentwood condo. Brentwood residents are constantly bombarded with tourists, eager to catch the spot where Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman were murdered. The exterior of the upmarket home, located in the heart of a wealthy LA neighborhood, was fully remodeled and looks nothing like it did in 1994 when the murders took place. The owners even changed the address in hopes of finally selling the property. Yeah, good luck with that. 6. The Amityville Horror House. Now, I'm sure this one needs little introduction. I'm sure most people know the disturbing story of what happened here in 1974, when a troubled youngster named Ronald Butch DeFeo Jr. murdered both of his parents and his 4 younger siblings while they slept in their beds. Just a year later, the Lutz family moved in, and the rest, as they say, is paranormal and cinematic history. Although surprisingly, all the disturbing and grisly history wasn't enough to scare away one determined buyer. In 2017, the famous Ocean Avenue Dutch Colonial sold for around $600,000. Obviously, some people aren't put off that easily. If you are enjoying this video, then do consider subscribing to our channel. We bring you really cool and interesting videos to entertain you on a regular basis. 5. The Los Feliz murder house. Apparently, no one has lived in this Spanish colonial space at 2475 Glendower Place since 1959, when a cardiologist named Dr. Harold Perelson tried to murder multiple members of his family. Apparently, he beat his sleeping wife to death with a hammer, then severely wounded his teenage daughter, who surprisingly survived the attack, while his 2 younger daughters were asleep in the next room. He then committed suicide by swallowing a handful of pills. And though this house was initially sold off, it still sat dormant. In 2016, it eventually sold for $2.3 million. 4. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre House. With its grisly roots based in Tobe Hooper's 1974 horror classic, I'm sure that this is another creepy abode that needs no introduction. Although it's now called the Grand Central Cafe, it was originally located just outside of Round Rock, Texas, but the Victorian-style Queen Anne Cottage was purchased and dismantled in 1998. It was then moved to Kingsland, Texas, and was turned into a quaint roadside food house. Yeah, I'm sure it's just the place to go when you're feeling hungry. Heap. 3. The Lemp Mansion. The Lemp family of Lemp Brewing Company fame were pretty cursed and had their fair share of tragedy. 3 years after the death of William Lemp's son in 1901, the head of the family committed suicide by shooting himself in his bedroom. 3 other family members then also went on to take their own lives within the mansion's walls. Legend has it that their troubled spirits still haunt the creepy home. Today, it's a restaurant and inn, and is known as one of St. Louis's biggest paranormal hotspots. Definitely up for a visit there. Sign me up. 2. The Beachcomber Home of Tragedy. Located in a corner of Beachcomber Lane and Sea Lark Road, on a quiet block in Bayou City, this unassuming home was one in which a woman named Andrea Yates, who was diagnosed with postpartum psychosis, killed her 5 children, ranging from the ages of 6 months to 7 years old. She apparently murdered them by drowning them one by one in the bathtub. Today, the home is occupied, surprisingly. Each to their own, I suppose, but I don't think I could live in a house with such a grisly past. 1. Jeffrey Dahmer's childhood home. The childhood home of the serial killer, sex offender, and savage cannibal who terrorized the Midwest, Jeffrey Dahmer. Hey, I guess serial killers have to grow up somewhere like the rest of us. This cute, innocent-looking home is tucked away in the woods outside Akron, Ohio, and is disturbingly the place where he performed his first murder. In 1978, when Dahmer was just 18 years old, he murdered Stephen Hicks with a barbell and discarded his remains in the backyard. That may make the atmosphere a teeny bit tense when having barbecues in the back garden. Would you like to visit or even live in any of these homes? Let us know in the comments. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, Top Mainstream. We'll bring another exciting video very soon. Till then, peace out.